Have you ever spotted a trend on Etsy and thought, okay, but what am I actually supposed to do with this? Or perhaps you still feel a little unsure about what's actually trending in the first place. If so, today's video is for you and is going to be fun because I'm going to show you 2 design trends that are highly in demand right now and also have the potential to keep selling well into 2026 because they are so versatile. And you'll walk away with ideas on how to turn them into new bestsellers with different design approaches, different niches, and different products. If you're new here, hi friend, I'm Mandy. Think of me as kind of like your Etsy print-on-demand big sister in business who helps you get your products seen, loved, and sold without inventory and without the overwhelm. Whether you are in the process of growing your Etsy shop or just looking for some extra inspiration and insights along the way, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so that we can stay connected. And if you've been with me for a while, welcome back. You know I love a good trend that isn't just cute, but also profitable and adaptable. In fact, a couple weeks ago, we talked about the teddy bear trend that's been blowing up and how to flip that trend into your next bestseller. So today, I'm back with not one, but 2 design style trends, and I'll walk you through several different ways to design for each one inside Kittle, including how to remix them for different niches, how to customize templates, and how to use AI smartboards to get insanely usable designs in seconds. All right. Let's jump into Kittle. The first trend is all about what I'm calling nostalgic line art. It's got almost kind of that vintage or even sometimes a 90s feel to it, but really it's all about that kind of hand-sketched look. We typically see these illustrations with just one color. Oftentimes it's kind of this muted black and white, but sometimes you see it in other color variations as well. I love this trend in particular because it's being used in a variety of different ways. Animals, as you can see, are very popular, but there are plenty of opportunities beyond that as well. And one of the best ways to differentiate yourself with the trend is to bring it to a new niche where it can still make sense. For example, travel lovers could be a great niche for this, particularly for destinations that are popular right now. Think Paris or the Mediterranean or Italy. I have a custom GPT that I built to help me create a prompt that will create a similar style to what we've been looking at. And in this case, I used it for a Paris theme. I provide access to my custom GPTs and also share design prompts like this inside my private community. Now you could use this as is and simply place it on a nice flat lay, such as this one. These go especially well with comfort colors like you can see here. My go-to for apparel mockups is typically Mocks by Little Feather. It's a small business, it's an Etsy shop, and Michelle is the owner and uses real models and real products to create beautiful mockups like this one. I've got a special coupon for you below if you want to check out her shop. And there are also options to use within Kittle as well, particularly for non-apparel, where I am less concerned about fit and expectations around branding. As you can see in this one, it's clearly comfort colors. And so when it comes to apparel, I like to use the very specific mockups that are clearly comfort colors so there's no confusion and expectations are clear for the customer from the photo. But let's say, for example, I want to differentiate in another way. And a way to do that is to bring it to a new product type. So in this example, we could use the same illustration, add in some details or a city or country name or destination, could even personalize it for like maybe from a family vacation or a honeymoon destination and come at it from that angle. But essentially, we can add a few little extra details and bring it into wall art as a product. And so, again, I might add text to the bottom, and you can see that kind of fills out the space a little bit more. And when I do that, to create a mockup in Kittle, it's very easy. It happens right on screen. You can see when I click on the artboard, I now have this mockup option, and that's how I created the one above. I simply searched for the product that I wanted to use it for, in this case, wall art, and then it's simply placed right there for you and you can adjust it as needed. But there are also elements of this that we can take away while still retaining the same aesthetic to go in an entirely different direction, but with this same concept. For example, I could use just the Eiffel Tower for a Paris-themed bridal shower, which is a trend in the bachelorette and bridal shower world in and of itself. So to very easily do that in Kittle, I've selected the original artboard and there is a smart board option. And then when you do that, you can simply prompt it to pull or change whatever you want to from this original artboard. And so in this case, I said, keep only the Eiffel Tower, center the tower, and then add a dainty, soft watercolor pink bow with flowing tails over the center. And that is what it came up with. And I intentionally retained that kind of original sketch black and white concept and created that contrast with the pink bow in front to, again, just really create something new and different with that design. And from there, I can simply add some complementary text around it, add some personalization in there for whatever I want to use it with. And so then all you need to do is place it on your mockup so that it looks appropriate for the occasion or the situation that you are intending the customer to buy it for. So in this case, this could work well for a welcome sign, for example, or even tapestries are doing really well in that bridal niche also. If you don't already have Kittle and want to check it out, I will also mention that I've got a link for you with a special discount available for my audience. So you'll find that down in the description below. Our second trend is Western. Now, this is one of those trends that continues to reinvent itself over the years, and right now is really taking off again in so many different places, including birthday themes for kids as well as adults. We've seen it with bachelorette themes, even fun teacher or mom shirts. So really, there are a lot of different directions that you can go with this. And the Western aesthetic is also something that can be adapted with different design styles as well. Sometimes we see it with more of a vintage or retro look, but it also does well with simple design also. So you can see it with this example here where it's matching family shirts. And you may be thinking, I'm not that good at coming up with Western designs. Well, one of the things that I like to use in Kittle are their templates. And Western is an aesthetic and style where they have lots of different templates that you can choose from. So I simply typed in Western and you can see we've got lots of different options. Some of them are even in that sketch or kind of line art style that we saw earlier. Some of them are more retro. Some of them have a mix of different aesthetics. So there really are a lot to choose from. Now, even with a template, you might be thinking, I still don't really know what to do with that or how to translate that into the niche or product that I'm actually creating for. Well, another little trick that I like to use in Kittle is to use the Smart Boards function for templates as well. So even though it's a completed design, you can still select this artboard, choose Smart Board, and prompt it for what it is that you're going for. So let's say we're wanting to create this for a kid's first birthday party. And so for this, I could say, turn this into a kid version, king of the rodeo, and remove all other text. So you can see for the most part, it took care of all the extra text that we didn't need. It left this one in, which I'm okay with, but it changed not only the text for me, but also the graphic to match it as well. How this could work well for matching family shirts like we saw earlier, but you could also turn this into tote bags or other accessories that people might be getting for the party itself, or similar to earlier, welcome signs, tapestries, banners, backdrops, things like that work really well for this particular type of niche. We could simply add in a few extra details here, add in our personalization, and then turn it into a mock-up. And so this is another example where we can take that concept, take that aesthetic, get a little help from templates, and then turn that into not only a different product, but also an entirely different niche altogether. Now, the other thing that you can do with templates, especially if you find one where you really like the structure or the layout or style of it, is even change it directly. So say you have this concept or idea, but you really know what you want to do with it. You just need a little help with the actual design part of it. So in this case, I've got this template. It came just from one of the options right over here. So for this, I want a trending bachelorette theme and change it to a last cowboy forever. So you can see with this one, I changed the color. I changed the text myself by simply typing in the new text that I wanted it to be. And then all the other elements I just made match with that color. I added in a little ring here to bring in a little bit of that bridal concept. And then I added in some additional text, which would be personalization in the form of an actual listing itself. And so then something like this, of course, would work really well for matching shirts. I would probably list this with a flat lay. I would probably also show it as two matching models like we've seen in previous mock-up examples. But again, this was another simple way to take that original aesthetic, apply it to something different with a slightly different theme from what we've seen out there before, even though we know that the bachelorette and bridal niche does really well. So this brings in just a slightly different concept using a template that was already kind of halfway there for us to really help us in that design process. And these are two design styles that I genuinely think will keep staying well into 2026. And now hopefully you got a few different extra ideas and ways to turn each one into products your own ideal buyers will love. As you've heard me say before, all of this goes back to knowing what's in demand. In this case, the nostalgic line art and Western trend, and then adding in a little bit of your own creativity with the help of a few tools to bring those design approaches into different niches to create a specific customer connection, as well as trying out different design approaches and even different products so that you can differentiate your listings from what's already out there. If this gave you some ideas for your next design session, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on all things Etsy and print on demand. Don't forget to also grab your discount codes for Kittle, as well as my favorite Mocks by Little Feather Mockup shop below. If you want to keep learning, I'll link my full design tutorials playlist down below so that you can binge watch your way into your next bestseller. In the meantime, stay focused, my friends. Keep taking action and never stop pursuing excellence in your business. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here, and I'll see you in the next one.